Hey guys, I just want to let you know before I begin telling you this story that this video is brought to you by Sky Go. So some of you may know that I used to be a massive fan of wrestling back in 2011, 2012. I used to watch WWE every single week, every single show, every single pay-per-view, and then CM Punk left, and I was like, but I love CM Punk, and then I kind of stopped watching for a little bit, I'll be completely honest. But since WrestleMania and since being on tour with Arthur, who is a massive WWE mark, I got back into it, and I love wrestling again, and everything is good in the world. And thanks to the Sky Go app, I can now catch up on all of the wrestling shows anywhere I want at any time, instead of having to stay up until 4 AM watching it live, because that was killing me. Thank you, Sky, for letting me know about this app, and feeding my addiction. Very thankful. But this newly reinstated love for wrestling has reminded me of a time that I have never talked to you about, and I don't know how I've never told this story before. I'm one of those people that goes through these phases of what I want to do for the rest of my life, and one of those phases when I was 20 years old was I wanted to be a wrestler. And I was a wrestler for about an hour. Not clickbait, because it actually happened. How'd you like that, Felix? So back in the summer of 2011, when All In Wrestling was good, basically when CM Punk was there, when I was first really starting to fall in love with WWE, I thought to myself, hey, you know, you could do this. You could be an amazing female wrestler that takes on all the dudes and beats them all and then does backflips off the top ropes and marries CM Punk in real life. Wait, my love for wrestling might have started with a bit of a crush on CM Punk. That is no secret. Oh dear. That oh dear sounded very Adam from What Culture, didn't it? I'm a mark for them. But for once of all these pipe bombs, I mean pipe dreams, I was actually dedicated to giving it a go, and for the first time in my life, I joined a gym. Yeah, I know. First time I joined a gym was so that I could be a professional wrestler. Could you imagine me as a professional wrestler? Neither can I now. Of course, cue the relatable content. You can imagine what I was like in the gym. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's my workout for the day done. 4, 5. But with a bit of hard work, I did eventually get to a point where I thought, you know what, I'm physically fit enough to join a wrestling school. So I did. I was a member of a wrestling training school for one session, which was an hour long. And I never went back. But Emma, why didn't you continue with your dream? Why didn't you work hard and continue at the wrestling school? Well, my friends, I was terrible. And you know what they say in life? If at first you don't succeed, give up and cry. So I got there, gym bag in hand, meeting everybody. I was like, this is my moment. Yes, I have decided what I want to do. And for the first half an hour of the entire session, we were doing what they call wrestling entrances. If you don't watch wrestling, it's basically when someone hits your music and you walk down the ramp looking all tough. Whoa! I'm going to beat you up! Except I was terrible. Everyone there was terrible. All of the music was terrible. It was just a cringe fest. Oh dear. I love saying that. They didn't tell me that this is what we were gonna do. I didn't have music, and it was just that's not what I wanted to learn. I know that it's important to put on a show because wrestling isn't real. But I just wanted to do the moves. I wanted to flip off top ropes and beat up commentators, and that's not how training works, sadly. So after that long, painful half an hour of watching these people that I didn't know walk up and go, huh, to some random metal music, we moved on to something called suplex training. This is more of what I wanted. But if you don't know what a suplex is, basically, you're lifted off the ground and you're thrown onto your back. It's an incredibly common move, it's done all the time, but it's also, as I found out, a very painful one. Okay. Ow. Okay, let's try it again. No. I got thrown on my back once and then chickened out forever. I didn't realize how hard a wrestling ring actually was. It is like being thrown onto concrete. I very quickly realized that wrestling was just not the dream I was destined to pursue. In other words, I was terrible and the chicken, bok bok bok. Since then I've watched countless matches with steel cages, steel ladders, thumbtacks, and now I'm a YouTuber because that's just as brave. Don't judge me. I make my videos for a living. It's a commendable sport. And that's the story of how I was a wrestler for all of 1 hour. If you really want to know, I wanted my wrestling name to be something like Jess Francis, and I wanted to have the build of Beth Phoenix. I was going to have this superhuman strength surrounded by lots of big guys, be a massive heel, and then fight CM Punk at WrestleMania and lose to him as a gracious thing, and then we were going to get married, kayfabe and in real life. And my entrance music was going to be by Gossip. Standing in the way of control. It was going to be great. I had everything mapped in my head. And my dreams were dashed by my cowardice. If you're like me and you would rather watch wrestling than do wrestling, you can, like me, catch up on all of the weekly WWE shows on the Sky Go app. It has saved my sleeping pattern, and if you live in the UK, it will save your sleeping pattern. You're welcome. Don't say I'm not kind and gracious to you all. And if you don't like wrestling, or you do and you want to watch more, there are tons of shows on the Sky Go app, such as Catfish, Ugly Betty, How I Met Your Mother, Ballers, which features The Rock, who, as we all know, is my bud. Misfits, and there's Prison Break. There's so many shows to keep you entertained on the move, and if you're like me and you travel a lot, it will just keep you so entertained. You try doing a 9-hour drive up and down the country with nothing to entertain you, and then come back to me and say that you didn't need the Sky Go app. And the best news of this entire video is that this app is free if you're already a Sky customer. And if someone at home already has Sky, like your parents or your brother or your boyfriend or girlfriend or your wrestling rival. I don't know why you'd live with your wrestling rival, but wrestling isn't real. You can simply ask for their Sky Go login and you're away and you are entertained forever and ever until you've watched it all. But then you can just watch them again. Please be sure to let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up. If you want more stories, then just let me know in the comments below. Something interesting actually happened at VidCon. So if this video gets enough likes that I deem it as, yeah, you guys actually like me telling stories, then I will post that. And don't forget to click subscribe so you can see more videos on this channel. And I will catch you later. Bye! I think if I was a wrestler now, I would have a finishing move called Catch You Later. And I'd say it before jumping off the top rope and then knocking the guy out and pinning him. Catch you later. That would be amazing. Sorry. Bye.